Hello and welcome to the Rock Dojo. My name is Brian Parham and I will be your guitar sensei. This is day number... Oh, I just lost my... Oh, there it is. Okay, this is day number 8. It's hard to say with my fingers when I'm holding a guitar. Day number 8. We're like almost done with the 10-day Guitar Jumpstart. Today we're checking out CAGED open chords, otherwise known as the cowboy chords. I just want to let you know that you can download your free PDF that goes along with this lesson and every other lesson for the 10-day Guitar Jumpstart. Just click on the link in the description and I will take you through your first 10 must-know concepts for the guitar, because the reality is anyone can learn to play the guitar. You just need to have the right tools. And you need to understand the concepts, must-know essential concepts. So over the last 10 days, or over the last 8 days, we've covered so many of those essential concepts. And today's a big one, especially if you want to play around the campfire. And I can't tell you how many people that I met that just want to play the guitar around the campfire. And that's awesome. If you want to play the guitar around the campfire, you need to know your open chords. So we're learning the CAGED open chords today. That's just a way of saying C-A-G-E-D. You're also going to learn what makes a major chord, and I'm going to teach you the ultimate guitar strumming pattern. So first of all, let me just do a quick demo of the CAGED open chords. We have C, A, one more time. C. It's not a song or anything. I'm just showing you the open chords. Just making it groove a little bit. And it never resolves because they're not all in a key. So those are just the 5 chords. They kind of sound cool together. They don't really go together in the same key, but Hey Joe, I believe, uses all of those chords. Anyways, so let's dive in. First of all, what the heck is a major chord? Well, if you've been following along with me, you learned about power chords. And power chords are 2-note chords that use the root and the fifth. In the major scale, and pretty much everything is derived from the major scale. You have do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, si, do. Let me play that. I won't sing it because I'm a horrible singer and you don't want to hear me sing. That's do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. In numbers, and that's a better way, I think a more useful way for musicians to think, you have, and that's scale degrees, would be 1 or root, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1. Well, as you learned, a power chord is 1 and 5. So that's a power chord. Now, all you need to do in order to turn a power chord into a major chord is add the third. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So an open chord just contains the notes 1, 3, and 5 of a major scale, and it gives you this sound. And then, because we have more fingers and more strings available, we can double some of those notes. In the key of C, the 1 is C, the 3 is E, the 5 is G, and then we're just going to add, there's another C available here and another E. So we're just adding a root and a third at the top. So this is the C open chord, and this is a major chord. Major chord because it contains the most important note, you may not have figured it out because I didn't emphasize it, is the third. The third degree of any scale or any chord is the most important because it determines whether it's a major or a minor. So once again, a major chord contains the notes 1, 3, 5. In the key of C, that's C, E, G. And let me just to show you what a minor chord is, if we were, and we're going to learn about minor chords tomorrow, excuse me. But if I were to just flatten the third, you'd have a minor chord right there. So this is a major chord. This is a minor chord. So now that we covered what is a major chord, and I hope by now you know it's a 1, 3, 5 of any scale that's a major chord. Let's talk about what is an open major chord. Well, an open major chord simply means you use open strings. I'm playing this G or the C chord, and the G string is open. Therefore, it's an open chord. And also, the high E string is open. Therefore, it's an open chord, as opposed to a closed voicing, but we're not going to get into that right now. So anyways, we have the C. Let me show you how to finger this. Ring finger is on the 3rd fret of the A string, taking my middle finger on the 2nd fret of the D string. So I have this shape right here, and then I'm going to take my index finger and put it on the 1st fret of the B as in bi string, and I'm going to strum everything from the A string down. So I'm not strumming the low E. I'm not strumming that. And by the way, strum just means to strike all the strings, or have, more than one string with the pick. And I'm doing it in a downward motion. That's called a down strum. So this is my C chord. Let me show you that one more time. Ring finger, 3rd fret of the A string. Middle finger, 2nd fret of the D string. And index finger, 1st fret of the B string. Can't believe I got that right. Try to say that as fast as I'm saying it. That's pretty hard. But hopefully you got it. So let's move on. That's your C major chord. Now, we're going to do the CAGED chords. It's just a way for me to remember, and there is a CAGED system. We won't get into that, but it's an easy way to remember these chords. So now we're going to go to the A chord. This is like the easiest chord in the world. After your open string power chord and your movable power chord, really should have started with an A chord. Here's why. Lazy man's A chord. I'm going to teach you this. And yeah, this guy right here. This is the only chord I ever use. Even though the books show it like this. I don't know. I've never seen a real guitar player play the A chord like this, like in the books. Just do the lazy man's version, especially if you're using distorted guitar, but that's another conversation. Anyways, we're taking the index finger, we're laying it down on the 2nd fret of the D, the G, and the B string, and I'm strumming everything except the E's. So I'm excluding the E's. So let me say that again. I'm strumming the A, D, G, and B string, but I'm not strumming the low E, and I'm also not strumming the high E. And this gives me the lazy man's A chord. It is an A chord, by the way. It's just an awesome way to play an A chord. And when you use distortion and play rock and roll, there's some really cool things that you can do with this fingering. And this fingering locks up everything and removes all your arsenals of destruction. So let's do the lazy man's A chord. Okay, so once again, taking my index finger, I'm laying it across the D, the G, and the B string at the 2nd fret. And it's an open chord because that A string is open. There's my open note, and here's my chord. And if you're wondering, the 1, 3, 5 in the key of A is A, C sharp, and E. And so when we do this, it's kind of in a crazy order, but you have A here, you have E, which is the 5th here, you have another A, you're doubling the A, and then you have the C sharp, which is the 3rd right there. And as you recall, the 3rd is the most important note of any scale or chord. That determines whether it's major or minor, but in this case we're doing major. Okay, we'll cover minors tomorrow. So anyways, you have C so far, you have A. They sound kind of cool together, but they don't really belong to the same key. But they do sound cool together. I'll show you some progressions after that work better, that like resolve. Anyways, now we're going to the G chord. This is how the books will teach you. I might as well teach you how the books teach you. I tend to make everything easier on myself, and I have like these lazy versions because I play with a lot of distortion often, and you need to like dumb down your chords in a way. But let me show you the way that has the actual 3rd in it. So in the key of G, those notes are G, B, D. That's a 1, 3, 5. G is the 1, B is the 3, and D is the 5. If you don't believe me, you can figure out your G major scale is G, A, B, C, D, E, F, F sharp, G. And that's 1, 2, 3 is B, 4, 5. So G, B, D. So anyways, in this G major chord, we're going to take our ring finger on the 3rd fret of the low E string. I'm going to take my middle finger and put it on the 2nd fret of the A string. I'm I'm going to take my pinky and I'm going to put it on the high E string, 3rd fret, and I'm going to strum everything, and that is a G major chord. This is a cool chord because there's no strings that you're missing. You can strum all 6 strings. So you can just go crazy. You can strum everything on that G chord. So once again, ring finger, 3rd fret of the low E string, middle finger, 2nd fret of the A string, and pinky is the 3rd fret of the high E string. I could break down these notes and tell you this is a G, this is a B, this is a D, this is a G, this is a B, this is a G at the top. But we're starting to run out of time. This is a micro lesson. I'm realizing I got to hurry up. So let me just show you, without getting into the theory, let me just show you the last 3 chords. So the last 3 chords, once again, a 1, 3, 5 makes any major chord, and we're in the key of E, and this is your E major chord. This is like a G chord in the sense that you can strum all the strings. So in this case, we're going to do the middle finger on the 2nd fret of the A string. We're going to do the ring finger on the 2nd fret of the D as in dynamite string. And then we're going to do the middle finger on the 1st fret of the G string. This is an awesome chord. That's your mighty E chord, and I'm just about out of time, so let me just quickly give you the D chord right here. So it looks like a triangle. I think of it as a triangle or a pyramid. So all I'm doing is taking my index finger, put it on the 2nd fret of the G string. I'm taking my middle finger and put it on the 2nd fret of the high E string. I'm taking my ring finger and I'm putting it on the 3rd fret of the B string. And by the way, if you download the free 10-day Jumpstart, you'll have all of these chords diagrammed out for you, so you will have no confusion what I'm doing. Once again, index, 2nd fret of G, middle finger, 2nd fret of the high E, and ring finger, 3rd fret of the B string. And I'm strumming, the D is open, that's why it's an open chord. So I'm strumming the D, the G, the B, and the high E. Otherwise known as strings 4, 3, 2, 1, 1 being the highest. So that's my D chord. So there you have it. You just learned C, A, G, E, D. And I just have about a minute left. So let me just give you one quick strum pattern. The strum pattern that you can use is called the ultimate strum pattern. It goes a little bit like this. I'm going to do an E chord because you can strum everything with E. Down, down, up. Actually, let me just give you a super simple one. If you're just getting started, the whole idea here is that you're just getting started. So if you're just getting started, just strum all downstrokes. Even that sounds cool. 1, 2, 3, 4. This would be a really nice place to start. And practice going from, by the way, these chords that will sound good together, you can go from G to C to D. Those 3, I'm sure you can hear already, those belong to the same key. They sound awesome together. So you can practice going 4 times on G, 4 times on C, 4 times on D, and then you're going to hear a clear resolution back to G. And if you want to get a little fancy, let me just give you one other thing and then time is up. Why don't we just add another upstroke or an upstroke on beat number 4. So down, 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 up. You hear that? Down, up. Down, up. So I'm going down, 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 up. Down, 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 up. Down, 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 up. Sorry, just messing with you. All right, so there you have it. We just learned the CAGED major chords. Don't forget to download your free PDF, the 10-day Guitar Jumpstart. There are still 2 more days. 1, 2, that's 2 more days. Day 9 and day 10. On day 9, which is tomorrow, I'm going to teach you about minor chords. And on day 10, I'm going to teach you a real song. I'll teach you the chord progression to Sweet Home Alabama, which a lot of my students ask me about. So there you have it. Please leave me your #1 biggest guitar challenge in the comment section, and I just might turn it into a future Facebook Live video. And don't forget, every guitar master was once a beginner. The more you practice, the better you will become. Rock!